Hi, everybody. It's Sue here with Wellness with Sue weekly emails and my Wellness with Sue YouTube video. And today I'm here to talk to you about balance. Do you have good balance? I see often when I watch people walk, their gait, and almost always it shows me whether they're stable or not. And when I'm talking about balance, I'm talking about the physical balance today. That's really my focus with you, and also how it relates to how you live in the world. So when you're steady in your body and you feel pretty balanced, I think that you have an easier time living in the world, that you're able to handle things. You've got a little bit more sturdiness to you. Versus if you don't feel balanced, you've got a little bit of unsuring, kind of I'm unsure, I'm not really sure what to do. There's this unsteadiness going on, both physically and also in your mind. And in yoga, we talk about this a lot. You know, a balanced body can help create a balanced mind. So today I want to show you 3 varieties of balances that you can practice and just see if your balance is doing really well. And I will tell you that balance changes from moment to moment and day to day. So some days I'm super steady and other days not really. Things that can affect it are sleep, or maybe you're anxious or upset about something, or maybe distraction. I can't tell you how many people have told me that they have fallen because they were distracted. They weren't watching and paying attention to what they were doing. And some of the things that we, like the benefits that we get from having balance is things like good coordination so that you don't fall when you're distracted, a steady walking gait, confidence, what else? Muscle and joint stability. So there's so many things that we get from, if we're not naturally balanced, working on our balance for steadiness and more security. Okay, so we're going to do 3 today. One is on the floor, so I'll start there. And then the other 2 are standing. Well, I hope you join me with this. It's kind of fun. Ready? So we're going to come to hands and knees. We call it tabletop. And if you have any kind of knee stuff and you're like, oh, I don't want to get on the floor because my knees hurt, please put a blanket on your knees. If I were to suggest, the way you do that is you take a blanket and you have it folded in as low and as sort of less cushy, more dense position as you can. So don't like scrunch it up and put it on your knees, because that won't allow for a stable surface, right? So you just put it underneath your knees like that. Hands are under your shoulders or slightly ahead of your shoulders, and knees are under your hips. I like toes turned under, but you can keep your feet relaxed if you like. And I'm going to first move you through neutral. So as you round your back, we call this cat pose. This is obviously not neutral. And as we arch the back, we call this cow pose, and this is obviously not neutral. Can you find something that feels kind of in the middle? First, balance. Keep your hands on the floor. Stretch your right leg straight back behind you, toes pointing to the floor. Now, this is where the toes on the other foot help. My toes turned under help me to balance here. If my foot is kind of dangling all over, I don't have much stability. And then from here, take your left arm forward and reach toward the wall in front of you. Keep your eyes moving a little bit forward on the mat. And you can feel right away how the muscles in your arms, your legs, and your core had to turn on, otherwise you'd fall down. Go ahead and release. Take a moment in the middle. And then do the other side. Left leg goes straight back. I don't want to lift it higher than my hip. And then I'm going to reach forward with the other arm. And just notice, because each side will be different. And if your body fell out of neutral, I want you to pull your belly up a little and get yourself a little bit more organized. And then relax. Good. Come off of your hands, open and close your fists a little bit. So that's the first one. And it's actually the easiest one because you've got 2 points on the floor, both a knee and a hand. The second two are done standing. And a lot of you know this next one. This is tree pose. And just like we came from a stable, neutral place when we were on all fours, I want to do that here. So let's stand in mountain pose. Look down at your feet, make sure your feet are even and parallel. And then let your arms rest by your side. And see if you can't feel the weight of your body both in the ball of the foot and in the heel at the same time. We work towards balancing the pelvis over our ankles, balancing the shoulders over our pelvis, and then balancing the head over the shoulders. And then really feel your legs. Can you press down into the floor, and can you feel your leg muscles get stronger? With tree pose, all you're going to do is put your weight in your right leg, push into your right leg, and lift off your left foot. Turn your foot, and then bring your foot somewhere on your leg. The easiest position here is to take your arms out to the side. Now, I worked on this with you in another video. I think it was one of the foundational videos that I made. And this one was included for working on balance. And you can see I'm a little unsteady, right? And I'm not actually in the deepest pose. The deepest pose would be foot comes all the way up, arms come all the way up. So this makes it much harder. Remember, good 3, 5, maybe even 7 breaths. Because you want to work when you're in the pose. You want your body to get stronger. And then as you exhale, release. If your foot's up like mine, release it slowly. Come back to mountain pose. Always look down because you will stand crooked. It's our nature. Once we feel steady and stable, press down through the left leg and lift up the heel of this foot and start to turn it towards the other leg. Put it on your calf, just above your knee, or all the way up. Remember, arms open are easier because it helps you balance because you've got these levers out here. Full range of tree pose is arms up high. And you're finding your balance here. Press your foot into your leg and your leg into your foot. Use the muscles around the joints to stabilize yourself. We stay again, you can see I'm wobbling. Wobbling is not unusual. And this is my first balance pose of the day. So I've been sitting a lot, which means my body was like, what? You were sitting and now you asked me to do this? And then relax and come down. The other thing I want to mention about balance is that it's different from side to side. So you might have a stronger side than the other, and that's fine. And if you're working with your balance and you don't have the steadiness, it's really ideal to be somewhere where you can put your hand, like on a wall, or in my other video I showed a chair, okay? You don't have to do it freestanding. The last point is if when you come up into your pose, you go like this and you fall, and you do it again and you fall, what you're doing is you're teaching your body how to fall, not how to balance. So that's when you would get a chair or a wall, you put your hand on it, and you get yourself there, and you find your balance, and then maybe take your hand away. The last standing posture, standing balance posture I'm going to show you is a modification of Warrior 3, sometimes referred to as airplane. So I'm going to turn so you can see, and what I'd like you to do is just stand kind of in the middle of your mat or in the middle of your space. Stand again in mountain pose. So take a moment to find that. And then what I want you to do is just take a step with your right foot, like you're going to take a walk. Put all your weight on your right foot and let your left leg come off the floor. With my arms down by my side, I want my fingers to reach. This is level 1 here. Or you could take your arms out to the side like an airplane. Or you could take your arms up over your head, making a straight line from your back foot to your fingers. When you're ready to come out, release your arms, step back in place, and pause. Now I'm going to show you a little bit deeper version on the other side. That, what I just showed you, is really appropriate because most people don't know how, when they're taking a step, if they're going to fall like this, they'll fall. So this action actually helps you to develop muscle and awareness so that if that ever did happen, you could catch yourself. But there's a deeper version that I want to show you just in case you're there. So standing again in your mountain pose. When you're ready, take a step with your left foot. Lean into this left foot, stand to pick up the right. Your arms can all stay the same. They can stay down by your side, out, or up. So I'm going to keep them down by my side just so you can see my body better. And what the deeper action is this back leg is going to start to lift, and it's going to start to tip me forward. I'm not trying to bring my body to the floor. It's just happening because I'm lifting my back leg. And when I get to my edge, which means I feel like I'm working, but I'm not quite falling over, then that's where I stay. The back leg is the strength. It pushes back like it's trying to touch the wall behind you, and the chest and the eyes are moving forward. As you feel ready to come down, you're going to release and bring yourself back to your starting position. So that one's the hardest of all three. Obviously, the easiest one was on the floor. The next challenge is tree pose, which most people know that pose. And then the last one that I showed you was warrior 3. I would suggest doing all of them because they work in different planes and different motion patterns so that you get stronger, you feel more steady and balanced, and you have, more confidence to be out into the world. What happens when we are unbalanced, when we're standing out in the world, you might have noticed this about yourself, or you might notice this with other people. If you feel steady, when you're out walking, say, your eyes are usually up, you see the peripheral around you, and you have this air of uplifted confidence. Versus if you don't feel stable and balanced, your eyes will look down at the floor or down at the ground because you're a little bit nervous about what's around and what you might step on and what you might trip over. And you miss the whole world as you walk by. So just something to consider. If you liked this teaching and you would like more of what I do, I am teaching live online classes now. Since we've been in COVID, it's just been a way of life, and so many people have hopped on. It's been super great to meet old friends and meet new friends. So just let me know if you're interested. I will definitely send you the information. Because you're receiving this video, you are already on my email list, so shoot me an email. And if you're new and you found me on YouTube, leave a comment and I'll find you. Okay, have a great one, everyone. Thanks so much for sharing some of your time with me.